It's now my honor to get to introduce our next speaker. MDRT member from the United Arab Emirates, Sanjay Talani, is one of the youngest people to ever qualify for the top of the table. Sanjay's been a member of MDRT for 11 years, and 7 of those have been top of the table qualifications. I know. Sanjay is going to share with us his insight into how to get to the top of the table and how to build a top of the table team. Please help me welcome Sanjay Talani.
Why choose me? I mean, really, why choose me as your financial advisor? There are 5,000 of you in this room. Why should a client choose me? I've asked this question right from the day I've joined this business. And it always comes down to why choose me as your advisor? You see, our profession is filled with advisors from every age band, every class, every creed. And it's always been the question, what makes me stand out? The day you can answer that question, you can identify your USP, or what we call the unique selling point. What do you bring to the table in front of those prospects? So, this business is not about selling a product. Everyone can copy products. This profession is about how you, as an individual, differentiate yourself. Because you have to dedicate that time for a family that is not yours. You're dedicating and being committed to that. That dedication has to be genuine, honest. And if your client cannot see it in your eyes, you're going to lose it. So, it all comes down to, again, why choose me? My journey through this profession started when I was just 17 years old. So, my father, who's been in this business for a very long time, said, Sanjay, why don't you join my company? I'll buy you a brand new car. Your job is to take the new sales guys for training. That's it. So you drive to the training, bring them back. Comes with a condition. You have to sit through that training to make sure they sit through it. See, being the boss's son allowed me to throw my weight around a little bit, so I got to them into training that stuff. Now, after 6 months of, that boring training that you have to be through every day, same training, same guys, same product, same speech, I knew more about our products than anybody in my office. 6 months. So after my training period was over, I started university. And I realized I could give, the most basic advice to anybody. Guess what I did? I did all my presentations on retirement planning, right through university. Best part, my client bank, or my prospect bank, was my classmates and my teachers. They didn't have a choice but to listen to whatever I said. So I was doing retirement planning. In the first year, none of my friends like to save money. How many 17 or 18-year-olds do you know that like to save money? None. The girls in my class, Louis Vuittons, Pradas, Hermes. Saving money, no ways. So, I decided, why don't I do one thing? Why don't I go and meet their parents? So I went to one of my friend's father, and we call them uncle in our culture. Anyone senior than us, we would call them uncle. I was like, uncle, I'm going to teach your daughter how to save money. What do you think he said? Sanjay, which side of the bed did you get up from? Haven't you seen her at university? The only thing she does is swipe credit cards. I said, okay, but let's do it this way. if you want your daughter to save money, you have to support me and you have to help me. He's like, I'm ready to do whatever you need. I said, whatever she saves, I want you to match it. So if she saves $500, I want you to save $500. He said, forget matching, I will double it. So I've already got a $1,000 premium confirmed. Now I have to make sure I get the balance $500. So in my first year, that's all I did. I went to my friend and I said, your father is going to increase your pocket money by $1,000. You need to put $500 in the account with me and he will put 1,000 on top. What do you think she said? Where's the paper? So I sold 60 cases in my first year and I qualified to MDRT at the age of 19. That was the first year. That was easy. How do you repeat that the second year? Same classmates, same teachers, a little bit of a problem. So I went to the parents of these children and I said, your daughter has a retirement plan. What about you? How difficult do you think it was for me to sell a second retirement plan? And plus he was older, so he had to save more money. Hence, $3,000 or maybe $5,000 a month qualified me to quarter the table. At the age of 21. I did 180 cases and I qualified to quarter the table. By the age of 23, I had qualified top of the table. And at the age of 28, I qualified as a life member. See, I started working a lot more harder in this business about 5 years ago. There were two incidents that happened in my life. One which was in my family and one which was with my friend. So, an hour before my sister's wedding, my father had a brain stroke. Yeah, just 1 hour before my sister's wedding. That day is so fresh in my mind still because I was sitting in hospital and the functions were going on at home. See, an Indian wedding is for 4 days. It starts and it ends after 4 days. I didn't realize what's going to hit me till those 4 days were over. My business was designed on 4 major pillars. My father used to manage the strategy. My mother used to handle the finance, the banking. My sister used to handle the administration and I used to handle the marketing and business development. Overnight, I was alone in the office. My father was in hospital. My mother was taking care of him. My sister got married to a family in India, so she moved away from Dubai. And I was alone in the office. But you know, there's a silver lining to every good day, right? All these things will change. My father knew that someday, if something like that did happen, we were prepared for it. You see, his Keyman insurance paid out. That money is what kept me going in this business. That money is what I needed to maintain my staff, to maintain my daily expenses. I also found out who is my real loyal client, who are dedicated to me. I also knew who are my dedicated employees at that point of time. I was alone. But in those 9 months, I lost 254 clients. I lost $150,000 in commission. 9 months. See, every person in this world has a plan A. My business, my properties, my investments, they will all make money for me. What is plan B? Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the business of designing plan B for these families. If we don't do this, who else is going to build a safety net? The value of insurance, I learned it that day. It was the most sacred money I had ever received. Not my pocket money, but that Keyman insurance was the most sacred money. Thanks, Dad. Because if he didn't have that vision, I would have probably been out of this business. I was only 24 when that happened. The second incident happened a few months before my dad's brain stroke. Very interesting. One of my best friends, she called me up and she's like, Sanjay, I've known you for 7 years. But, as a family, we've never bought any life insurance. We've got two very young children. My husband doesn't believe in insurance. Would you mind me bringing him to you and you can sell him some life insurance? When was the last time you had someone calling you and saying, sell me life insurance? Deal closed. Bring him to my office and I will do the needful. So the next day itself, they came to my office. And after a couple of hours of discussing, we chopped down the options and the product. We started doing all the paperwork. We filled out the application form. Everything was done. He said, Sanjay, I'm going to go home and I'm going to send you a check. And then let's go ahead with this product. Fantastic. So he goes home. He calls me and he's like, Sanjay, small problem. My checkbook's over. I'm going to Bulgaria for 10 days. Would you mind if I give you a check after 10 days? Yeah, go ahead. Makes no difference. I can hold the application for 10 days. Anyways, it's incomplete. We need to still fill out a few more things. Send me the check later. No problem. Well, after 7 days, I got a call from his wife. And she was like, Sanjay, we've had a car accident. Luckily, both the children, they're fine. But my hands, legs, and my jaw is broken. Philip is in a coma. I did not know what to say. This is a friend of mine who's been with me for 7 years. We've studied through university together, and there was nothing I could do for her. She called me the next day and she's like, Sanjay, Philip has passed away. If he would have paid me $320, I would have paid out $700,000 to his family. The application was incomplete. There was no check attached to it. So when a client today tells me, Sanjay, I need time, what are you going to say? If she calls me even today at 3 o'clock in the morning, I will not only pick up her phone, I'll do whatever she asks me to do. Because I feel guilty. I had the power to protect that family, and I did not. When a client tells you, let me think about it. Mr. Client, you have 3 weeks to think about it. Let me put the cover in effect. We have a free look period. Go ask your family, go ask your wife, go ask whoever you want. But let me keep you covered. Because if you have already made a decision that this is what you need, let us implement it, because I don't know if you will have the right time to implement it. That free look period is there, and we will return 100% of your premium back to you. This business is what we do. How many of us are ready to live with that guilt? Till today, it's been 5 years since that event. I still feel so guilty. When we traveled to this conference, some of us came in cars, some of us came in aircrafts. When we travel in an aircraft, the first thing they show you is a safety video. If the oxygen pressure falls in the aircraft, the oxygen mask will fall down. Help yourself even before you help your own child. How many of us have protected our families? See, we are the doctors in this profession. If we don't believe in our own medication, how do you think it would be to prescribe that medication to our clients? You need to believe in your own medication. Show your clients a copy of the product you have purchased. See, everyone likes to copy. It's human tendency. We love to copy. We have copied as children. Why not today? Why not copy today? So you can show what you have for yourself to your clients. Mr. Client, I've purchased this for myself, for my family. What have you done for yours? See, one of the key things to remember during the 21st century, and I cannot emphasize this enough, is clients have access to information. We have the internet. They might even know more about our product than ourselves. So how are you going to be a competent advisor in a market where your client is more informed than you are? This is where being a member of MDRT helps. See, MDRT is that global platform that gives you that cutting edge. To be able to understand how people from all over the world, who are the best in our profession, do things differently. They do this in a manner that might be significantly different from the way we do it back home. Knowledge is available, but the commitment is still missing. So the clients still have that knowledge. But you know what they don't have? That commitment. And that is where we come in. See, our job is to understand and help them prioritize. Make sure that things work out. I had a client who asked me once, Sanjay, how do I know your company will pay me the claim? Mr. Client, do you drive a car? Yes. Does it have an airbag? Yes. When was the last time you tested it works? Simple test. Hit it against the wall and we'll see if it works. Or we learn from other people's experiences. Mr. Client, we have paid claims for years for many clients. We are in the business of paying claims. Our job is that airbag. We are the seat belt for our clients because we provide them income protection. You know, we have those small jerks on the way. It doesn't have to be a major event, but that seat belt protects us from flying out of that windshield. And that is what we call critical illness. See, my dream is not just to be the best in this business, but to be the best in everything I do. And it's that belief that I'm the best. Muhammad Ali did it. Why can't I? You got to believe you're the best in this. You are also the best because there's no one like you. Why do we compare ourselves to somebody else? We need to compare ourselves to ourselves. To ourselves yesterday, to ourselves today, to ourselves tomorrow. Because we are competing against ourselves. This is the best profession in the world. I have enough qualifications to do any business in the world. Why am I in insurance? Because this is not the second best. This is the best. You see, there are only two professions in the world which help families. Insurance and charity. Which one would you want your family to depend on? Why choose me? Because I am MDRT. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.